The fall of Carvana. Carvana stock prices took a dramatic fall this week, a reduction in value of 97%. So in August of 2021, Carvana stock was trading at $376.83 per share. And now you can see today is trading for $6.80. Take a look at the dramatic loss of value that Carvana has seen in 1 year. Carvana has laid off over 1,500 people, and that's a second round in 6 months. Its weakening finances mean that raising funds is going to be extremely difficult for Carvana, and analysts say it's going to run out of cash in a year. So let's talk about this dramatic stock loss and how small dealers can learn a lesson from the largest online seller of used vehicles in the United States. Before I talk about the fall of Carvana, let's go back here just a little bit here, and I want to talk about the history of Carvana, because if you are like me and you are either in the car dealer industry or possibly thinking about getting into the car dealer industry, then you have obviously heard of Carvana. And us in the motor vehicle dealer industry have been concerned about this huge company along with the pandemic. This has basically changed the way that many dealers do business. So Carvana was founded in 2012, and they're based in Phoenix, Arizona. And the company's the fastest growing online used car dealer in the United States, and it's obviously known for its multi-story car vending machines. Carvana was actually named to the 2021 Fortune 500 list, one of the youngest companies to be added to that list. Carvana started with the ambitious goal of changing the way that the general public purchases vehicles. Carvana's business model allowed a person to purchase a vehicle and then have it delivered to their home as soon as the next day. Now, in the past, many persons that I know that were very leery about purchasing a vehicle sight unseen, but Carvana has had the vision to give a 7-day buyback guarantee. So if you were not satisfied with your purchase, you could just buy the vehicle back with no questions asked. In fact, they referred to this as a test own instead of a test drive, which I think was really a phenomenal idea. In most scenarios, purchasers of vehicles from Carvana kept the vehicle, and in most cases, purchasers of vehicles from Carvana kept the vehicle, but in the rare scenario, when a purchaser wanted to return the vehicle, it was usually returned or exchanged for another vehicle. So this has been a very, very successful model for Carvana. Carvana has been promoted as the Amazon of cars. So if you're a dealer, this model may work for you, but I think the key to Carvana's initial success was not only the innovative home delivery method they used, basically pioneering this method, but also offering a buyback guarantee of 7 days. So no matter what, within 7 days, they would guarantee to buy that vehicle back from you. Before we move on to talk more about Carvana, I would like to talk to you about the possibility of using this business model. But first of all, I want you to be aware that almost every state in our country requires a licensed motor vehicle dealer to only have retail sales activity at their licensed location. So almost every state requires licensed sales activity at the licensed sales location. So if you are a currently licensed dealer, you're probably already aware of this, but if you're thinking about getting into the industry with your own dealer license, this tends to be a very high profit industry that you're getting into. And since having a dealer's license tends to be very lucrative, we are a very tightly regulated industry, tightly regulated by your state and the federal government. State governments, which tend to have a little bit more oversight over dealers than municipalities and the federal government, do not allow off-site retail sales activity in any circumstances. So dealers are basically not allowed to meet a customer at a Walmart parking lot, say, for example, sell a vehicle and then disappear forever. So the state wants your customers to know exactly where you're located before, but more importantly, after the sale of a vehicle. So our states want to make sure that our customers know exactly where we're located in case they have issues with the motor vehicle you've sold. So your customer will always know where you are located. That's why you have to have a physical location. And this is also the reason that most states strictly prohibit having a dealer license at your residential location. Some states allow this, but most states are very specific and they do not allow a dealership at a licensed location, so you can't just meet someone in a parking lot, sell a vehicle, and as I said earlier, disappear forever. So your customers, the state wants your customers to be able to visit a retail licensed location. And, during the pandemic, I heard an incredible amount of ads from dealers that stated that they will bring the car to your home and allow a test drive. Well, if you recall, each dealer that ran these ads did not run those ads very long, because as soon as their state's dealer licensing regulatory agency learned of the dealers operating illegally and promoting off-site sales activity, then many of these dealers received substantial fines, and some dealers that were advertising home test drives actually had their licenses suspended. So these were illegal ads, and conducting any type of off-site retail activity is normally strictly against the law in most states. So Carvana basically took this operating model and they changed it. So how does Carvana and other companies like Zoom comply with this law in all the states they operate in? Well, they sell the vehicle first, and then they deliver the vehicle to the purchaser's home. When you see a vehicle on a Carvana flatbed being delivered to a customer's home, it's already been purchased in advance. So the customer found the vehicle on Carvana's website. If the customer needed a loan for the vehicle, Carvana made it very easy to obtain that loan by allowing the customer to complete the online loan application on the Carvana website. And when the customer was approved, then the vehicle was delivered to the customer with a very innovative 7-day buyback guarantee. If you are a dealer, you're getting ready to get your dealer's license and you want to deliver vehicles to your customers, make sure you can show the paper trail showing that the vehicle was sold at your dealership, basically online, and payment was received in advance before ever delivering a vehicle to a customer's home. You can't have off-site sales activity where you just go to a customer's home and basically allow them a test drive, do negotiations there. That's off-site sales activity, which is a violation of the law in most states. Carvana had revenues of $594 million in the first 9 months of 2017. Carvana was growing fast, but it lost $57 million in the first 3 quarters of 2017 and is burning through cash, and it's forcing it to continue to raise more money. Wall Street short sellers are betting big that this stock is going to collapse. But other large financial players have bought into the latest stock market play, and they keep providing it with fresh cash injections. So, early in 2022, Carvana purchased ADESSA dealer auctions for $2.2 billion in cash. And this is an acquisition aimed at adding another revenue stream, as well as a network of physical sites that could help increase Carvana's operations. Now, if you are like me and you're in a small dealer industry, then you, like me, were very concerned about this purchase. I mean, think about what this could lead to. You have the nation's largest seller of used vehicles buying one of the largest dealer auctions in the United States. I was concerned about this acquisition because in the worst case scenario, Carvana controlling a huge portion of the dealer wholesale market right now. I mean, Carvana could acquire the vehicles that are in the best condition and not even allow them to go through the dealer auction lanes, which could severely limit what other motor vehicle dealers are able to acquire for their small lots. So I, like many other dealers, I was very concerned about this acquisition because Carvana is basically dominating the retail and wholesale side of the market, which in my opinion is very concerning. So why has Carvana's stock taken a dramatic dive? Well, there are many, many reasons for this. First of all, the major component of the loss of the value of Carvana stocks is the decline of used motor vehicle prices. Carvana has ran aggressive advertising campaigns in the last 2 years to buy vehicles directly from individuals. I mean, I'm sure you've heard their ads, "We'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us." They had a link on their website that allowed you to enter your license plate number and they would give you an offer on the spot. So obviously the dealer industry cannot make any money from selling a vehicle until you buy the car in the first place, right? I mean, obviously every motor vehicle dealer realizes this principle. This could mean that the cars Carvana purchased in the past few months could be worth substantially less than what the company had anticipated. Car prices have been climbing steadily for the last 2 years, helping to fuel Carvana's growth as a shortage of parts, particularly computer chips, limited supply of new cars at a time when consumer demand for vehicles was particularly strong. So the decline of used motor vehicle prices has definitely hurt Carvana. Although, in my opinion, that's a great thing if you're a dealer in the dealer auction lanes, because now vehicles become more affordable for dealers again. Another factor And the downfall of Carvana stock is the fact that the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates at a historic pace in recent months as the central bank tries to ease consumer demand and slow the economy. Automotive sales are especially sensitive to a rise in interest rates as many car purchases are financed by consumers. Another problem is the company's growing debt. Carvana has acquired a lot of debt, and they're making payments on $3.27 billion of notes. So on November 1st, they had to start making payments on $3.27 billion of loans, bringing Carvana's net interest expense 220% higher than its cash on hand. If you've ever taken any of my dealer training classes, one of the things I've always focused on is to keep your debt low. When you get your dealer's license, or if you're a currently licensed dealer, you already know this, but many floor plans are going to dangle an offer of credit to you very easily. And you can normally get a $250,000 floor plan by signing a couple of documents at any dealer auction. And I never recommend starting a dealership with a large floor plan because I'm a big believer that floor plans kill dealers every single day. Many times I've helped someone in a dealer training class obtain their license, and then I'll drive by their location a month later and I'll see 50 cars on the lot with balloons flying all over the place, salespersons running all over the lot, and then I'll drive by a month later and that lot is empty. And there's only one reason for this. That dealer was not able to pay their floor plan. So, you see a for lease sign on the building there, and that shouldn't happen. That dealer cannot pay the floor plan, and they had their vehicles repossessed, and they went out of business. Stay out of debt, or keep your debt extremely low. I started with a $25,000 floor plan when I first got my license. I actually bumped it up to a $50,000, but within about a year, I paid that floor plan off, and I had a cash inventory from there on out. And I believe every dealer should have the goal of having a cash inventory. So do please keep that in mind. Stay out of debt. So I do believe there are a couple of lessons that any used car dealer can learn from Carvana. Number one, definitely consider the model of selling a vehicle and delivering it to the customers and offering some type of 3, 5, or maybe a 7-day buyback guarantee. Carvana's got a 7-day buyback guarantee. That's a pretty long one there. I think if I was going to be doing this, I'd be looking at a 3 to a 5-day guarantee. And I love the word test own. Let your customers take it for a test own. That's a great term that you can definitely use with your customers. I don't think anybody's copyrighted that or trademarked that phrase. Test own. That's a great phrase. Number two, stay out of debt. If you're going to pursue a floor plan to purchase vehicles on your lot, keep your debt low and manageable, and always have a goal of a cash inventory where you owe nothing on your vehicles. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like further information on how to obtain your dealer's license, or if you're a currently licensed dealer wanting to obtain some great profit strategies, we have a training course for you. Just go to dealertraining.org. Once again, that's dealertraining.org. And you can click on the Get License link at the top of any page and find a training course for your state. So you can just find your state right there, and we have training courses. I'm actually an approved provider, a training provider in many states. So, I might be able to meet you in person if you decide to get your dealer's license. I instruct dealer training classes in person all over the United States. Some of these states allow online training, but some of these states do not allow online training, and that's where I come in and do in-class training. So hopefully I'll get to meet you if you do decide to get your dealer's license. So, hey, with that being said, I hope you found this helpful. And now used cars companies like Carvana are definitely dealing with a decline. That's opportunity for small dealers like us to excel. Go to dealertraining.org and click on the Get License button, and I certainly would look forward to helping you with your business. Thank you very much.